has been a friend of SAG since our inception. And her first cookery demo we did in 2015 at the India Habitat Center in Delhi. And ever since that day, I know that I have a friend in London wherever I need one. And whenever we've reached out to her to say, Asma, would you like to come and be a part of our event? Her instant answer is, yes, I'll be there. So thank you so much, Asma. You've always been such a big supporter for us, and we love you.
Thank you very much. I think it's very important especially if you're an Indian chef, and this is your claim to fame, and this is how you make money in the West, that you stay very rooted to where you come from. Because I think that our nourishment, our sustainability, all of this, we will only survive if we stay rooted to who we are and where we come from. And this gives me an opportunity to come back to a new place and also to kind of, I think rejuvenate and also kind of heal myself every time I come to India. And it's fabulous to be in Ahmedabad. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. So what are we making today, Asma?
Well, as it has to be vegetarian, so I'm making a vegetable for us, This is, of course, slightly hot. I'm just going to lower it down. So, interestingly, my father's family, all the women in my father's family are vegetarian. So in all our weddings, we need to always come up with something unusual. ये ठीक है? आप एक काम करेगा? भैया, आप इसको ना 1 इंच काट दीजिए आलू को. इसको बंद कर दीजिए. इसको बंद कर दीजिए. So we've always had to have special things made in our wedding. So this is basically a dish that I've always seen made. हाँ, इसको inch काट दो, 1 इंच, हाँ, आधा इंच. So this is called khas aloo. Okay. So हाँ, because potatoes, हाँ, ठीक है. Potatoes, हाँ. 1 inch बस काट दो. Thank you. ऐसे ही काट दो सब. This is my lovely chef. I'm very grateful for that. So at least I can speak and not have to worry about things. So this is the interesting thing that I think that it's not because I'm Bengali, but I think that the potatoes is the most incredible resource we have. And we thank the Portuguese for bringing it. Because even though I have this big argument with a lot of people in England who always say, oh, this is very Indian, aloo, gobi, matar. I said, no. If you had to go back to kind of think of where all our food came from, it was the British who brought cauliflower to Bengal. And, so aloo, gobi, matar is, as Indian as you want it to be. But I think that, potatoes is something that, it's not just because we put potatoes in our biryani. And I have long arguments with everybody. My parents got married more than 50 years ago. I still hear the story when I go, that when my father's family from Aligarh went in the Bharat to my mother's family in Calcutta, they were shocked to be served biryani with potatoes. They were very concerned about the girl that they were getting into their family. That, they're not even giving the Bharat meat. They're giving them potatoes. Because, of course, for us, that's the most prized thing. You serve the potato first. So this is a khas aloo. I don't know what it could be called, but it's literally a recipe I've seen made for all these aunts of mine who are vegetarian and who would want something different from what they always eat in other places because they've come to a wedding. So this is something that doesn't exist anywhere except in my house. So it's but I thought I should make a recipe which is unusual so that, I don't know whether you can share the recipes, but at least everybody else can have a recipe that is, bas, theek hai. I'm just going to fry this. And so in there, इसको क्या करते हैं ऑन करें ठीक है ये तेज है ये क्या नंबर है हाँ जलना नहीं चाहिए I absolutely hate डाल दीजिए I absolutely hate thank you हाँ दे दीजिए सब दे दीजिए You're doing great don't go stay with me
yes of course so while these potatoes are being fried, I wanted to ask you, you have been cooking now for a little while, and you started cooking at a late age compared to the other chefs that come into cooking food. And so you were already 45 when you started cooking.
Yes.
So how was that for you? Like, how did that pan out?
Well, thank you for asking me this question, because everybody thinks you need to be young and hungry and very techy and, being able to sous vide everything under the sun. And when you see a lot of the Indian restaurants that are opening up now, These are all these people who are so heavily influenced by outside traditions and outside techniques. Many of them don't know how to use their own cooking techniques. And I think that at 45, I was best suited to open a restaurant. I had life experience. This is something that is never recognized or celebrated in hospitality. You come out of culinary school, trained how to cook in a stainless steel empire with all the gizmos that you have. What I have 10, half of them are from Nepal. I have 10 incredible women. The average age of woman cooking is 50 in my restaurant. So at 45, I had been defeated so many times. So many things had gone wrong in my life. I knew only now how to win. So this was, I think this is me at my most powerful. I think the only other example I can give is like, when someone goes out for a second innings when they're batting, you're not getting another innings to bat. I will hit every ball out of the park because I have nothing to lose. All I can do is win for my team, nothing else. So I think that kind of thing, people are always wrong when they look at someone young and think this person has potential. The greatest potentials are our mothers. Are our mothers who are the greatest cooks, who we do not acknowledge, we do not do salam to, we do not give them opportunities. And that's how I am different, because my restaurant really celebrates the Shakti of women.
So Asma is an all-women's team, just for everybody's information. And she has empowered a lot of people, and I think who better than Asma to start the International Women's Day cookery demos today here at Ahmedabad. And we are very, very... I have a question now.
Yes.
I would like to know from you that as a lady, as a woman entrepreneur, does it get easier for you in Europe, in London? What are your thoughts on that one?
It's a tough question. I just want to give one example. When I was, ये आलू निकाल दो, आलू सब निकाल दो, और सिर्फ तेल पैन में रख देना, हाँ? तेल चाहिए मुझे, हाँ? आप ठीक हो? Relax, no problem. You're a chef. लेकिन मेरा तेल मत निकालो यार, मेरा भाई, आप सब तेल निकाल दे रहे हो. सिर्फ आलू निकालो, हाँ? तेल आप मुझे चाहिए, ठीक है? Sorry about that. I had to close my restaurant over COVID. I was looking for a bigger place. Every landlord before COVID would ask me, do you have a business advisor? Who is helping you? Is your husband involved in your business? And I used to why they ask me these stupid questions? No, it's just me. Not a single, and I'm on chef's table. I am internationally, I had every superstar in my restaurant. I had Hollywood and Bollywood. I'm in the Michelin Guide. I had paid my tax for 1 year. So it wasn't that I was going around saying, oh, I've done really well. I paid tax for a year. So I had all that. I had the paperwork. They didn't show me a single place. Then COVID hit. The same landlords came back to me saying, oh, Mrs. Khan, we've got this property and that property. All of them were properties of failed white chefs who had overborrowed, overpromised, underdelivered, which is very common. And I then said that, okay, fine, now that I am in this position, so essentially what happened, I told everybody, so what COVID did, especially in the West, where all restaurants had to close, which happened here as well, I know, the chessboard was clear. I said, now I will come back as queen. And I told them, take me in a car and show me all of West London. I will pick which place I want and you give it to me. So there was this beautiful 5-story, stunning place in Covent Garden, and I said, I want this. They said, you can have it tomorrow. And I realized then, when they told me I can have it tomorrow, it's not different from the East or the West. They wanted me to show them who my suitable boy was. Isko ek second band karo, because warna to ye jal ke bun jayega. They wanted to show me who my suitable boy was. And in the East, it's very open. आपका बाप का नाम क्या है? आपके husband क्या करते हैं? आप कहाँ grow up की? आप कहाँ से हैं? आपका नाम क्या है? My full name. Here they will ask you because they will try and link you in patriarchy to who you are. What's your bloodline? In the West, it is very covert, it is sly, and this is not to do with the color of my skin. That may be an element as well. Female founder, a sole female founder, can never ever get anything because men do not want to lend money, give us property. So I think that if you're an entrepreneur in the East or in the West, it is equally hard. But in the East, you know what you're dealing with. In the West, You don't know that the tables are all against you. But I tell everybody, and I do a lot of work. I work with women entrepreneurs. I help women start restaurants. I have, from my own restaurant and my chula, I'm so grateful. I have 5 female-owned restaurants opened in London. People who tried and learned and practiced in my kitchen have gone on to open restaurants. My dream is that my Nepali girls will go on to open a restaurant. That I did every day. I tell them, Uma Didi, Bimla Didi, please go open a restaurant because, they don't have one that high-end in Nepali food. So I think that people don't understand. They think in the West, people are sophisticated, educated. It is absolutely not true. They have the same bias as in the East. They just hide it better. I have succeeded despite being a woman. And on International Women's Day, I want to tell any woman who wants to do a business, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, because first you defeat yourself then. The world may defeat you, but then you fight. I always say you fight like Jhansi Ki Rani. You fight till the end, but you do not give up. But if you defeat yourself, thinking, oh, I'm 45, I'm done this, and I still don't know how to use Excel. I don't understand my business plan. But I cook the biryani that people weep when they eat. So I have to understand, and this is not arrogance. I think every woman should look at herself like, this is what I do really well. I'm going to be great at this. First thing we do is, I'm very bad at this. I cannot do this. Anyway, let me continue to cook. So,
absolutely true. I think what is important is that as women, we all look into ourselves first and see what makes us tick. What is it that we want to do? And trust me, if you are resolved, if you know what you want to do, you will have the universe come together to make it happen for you like Asma has.
Okay, so what I've done in this, I've added pyaz, haldi, and then, thank God here I have to say haldi and not have to say turmeric. Although in the West, everybody knows what haldi is. Oh my God, I was telling someone before, for me, my mother would punish me by giving me haldi doodh to know whether I'm lying when I don't want to go to school. She said, oh, Asma ke liye haldi doodh lao, bimar hai. I should say, no, I'm going to school. And people are queuing up to have golden milk in the West. They are such stupid people. It's the worst thing. They don't understand. Dusra aloo bhi laya, please. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm adding adrak, lasan, thoda sa mirchi. Oh my God, I don't know yahan ka mirchi kaisa hai. Oh, then I'm not going to put any more. I'm not going to put more. And this is cloves and cardamom, pisa hua. Ye dahi dal dijiye isme.
We will take this recipe from Asma and we are going to post all the recipes that the chef make this time on our website. I'll request all of you all to please visit our website, maybe not tonight, but soon enough, once the event is done, we'll make sure we upload all the recipes over there for all our viewers. Thank you.
So basically, I think that this is one thing that, especially housewives do very well. That, you take an inexpensive ingredient, like aloo, gajar ka halwa is one example. And then, you add a lot of other things to it. And this is the great thing. What is so different in the West, which I find always a little difficult, is that sesame kahan hai? The sesame should go pisa hua, but doesn't matter. Koi baat nahi. Hota hai ye sab. That, I've always felt that it's really important that women speak up, by the way. This is something I think I don't have that much time, so I just want to do my plug, which is that women should always speak up, because this gajar ka halwa example I was giving, hamare yahan mein shaadiyon mein you invite everybody who you have never seen the pardada of, but you must invite. So you have 5,000 people coming for the shaadi. Mujhe abhi tak yaad hai, main bahut choti thi, that wo हमारे घर में शादी हो रही थी in Chatari. And there used to be talk that, हाँ, मीठा क्या बनेगा? So they said, हाँ, because gajar is abundance in winter, पेड़ से गिर, from not पेड़, but ज़मीन से गिर रहा है everywhere. They said, gajar का हलवा कराते. And I remember seeing all the women whole night cooking that gajar ka halwa, that khas, huge kadai mein, from one side to another. No one counted that. That gajar and the doodh was cheap. फिर बहुत सस्ता बनेगा, ये बहुत सस्ता बनेगा. The hands of the labor of the women has never been counted in any dish. And this is, the difficulty that we Because we have stayed silent, अच्छा इसको थोड़ा जोर करके फिर कम करिए थोड़ा सा. I hate these things. पूरा पूरा करो हाँ. जब ये boil करेगा इसको lid डाल के फिर छोटा कर दीजिए. Sorry, I'm half Bengali, so sometimes when I'm agitated, I speak like a Bengali Bihari, which is my mother's family combination. अब इसको कर दो, डाल दे, lid डाल दो. Lid. ढकना, इसको फिर थोड़ा सा छोटा कर दो, 3 पे. हाँ बस, नहीं इतना और, हाँ ठीक है. So I always feel that women are seen, you know, we have a muhavra, which is, thank God over here as everyone speaks Hindi. This ghar ki murgi dal barabar. It is not about the chicken, it's about the woman. This is an actual saying that when the chicken is cooked at home, it has the same kind of status as dal. Dal chawal is considered to be the most low level, low skill thing, even though it's not. Dal chawal is the most important thing, I think, in life. But the fact that a chicken which is expensive and elevated and not every family can afford it, and not the fact that you have reduced the chicken to the value of the dal because it's being made at home. Who is making it at home? And I very strongly feel that when from Afghanistan to Sri Lanka, it is a woman cooking in every kitchen. How is it that in hospitality, we are not there? Our roti is only valuable if it's free. Free mein roti banao, you are much valued. And our food is very patriarchy. We don't have this idea of a loaf of bread that everybody will cut the bread. Women eat last in all our houses. They will serve. But this, I have to say, is not just something that is Indian. In every agrarian society, be it Irish, Spanish, Portuguese, you know, this same culture, the women will feed the men first. And there's nothing, isko chala do, please. Thoda sa chalao. Huh? There's nothing, you know, नहीं अरे इस तरह नहीं यार आप शेफ हो लेकिन नहीं करने का जरूरत नहीं थोड़ा आस्ते आस्ते हाँ आस्ते आस्ते बेचारा आलू को चोट लग जाएगा यार आस्ते आस्ते करो मारा मारी नहीं हाँ ठीक है हाँ ठीक है अब ठीक है हाँ जलेगा नहीं बस अब ठीक है इसको बंद कर दो so because this was getting too hot, I didn't add that we make this with oil and ghee, and I think these are things that women do very well. You know, the jugaad of women. So there's a smell of ghee, so it looks like बहुत ही कीमती कुछ बहुत ही stylish है, लेकिन most of it is तेल, which is cheaper. But I think this combination also works very well because the burning point of ghee is always a problem. You know, you've got to act very, very fast if you're working with ghee because it starts burning very quickly. So if you use a kind of vegetable oil, it kind of, the combination for me works very well because you have a bit more time before you panics and everything starts yellowing. But, so I think that, you know, International Women's Day, somebody asked, you know, why is it necessary to celebrate women on one day? Yes, of course, women should be celebrated every day, and they are. In houses, we are a country that worship the goddess. And so, but there is a goddess at home, the one who is cooking your food. And I think that this is the one goddess we should not forget about. And that's really important. We are, at the moment, the only all-Indian female kitchen in the world at this level. If you come into my restaurant, per head you spend £100 without drinks. We are not cheap. And when I wanted to introduce a tasting menu, which included Newari, achar, and a mix of Nepali and Indians, when we started in COVID, it was at £95. People told me no one will come and have luchi, aloo dum, Newari, achar, and momo, and at this price. We were sold out within an hour. Because there is racism in the West about what is the sophisticated cuisine. Everybody thinks a sophisticated cuisine is the cuisine of the white person. And yes, they are paying that kind of money for Japanese and Korean food, but you will find that Indian food is considered to be cheap and cheerful. Isko chalao, please. Warna ye jal jayega. And one of the things that I do in my... Eh, jal raha hai. Nahi, jala nahi. Theek hai. Theek hai. So this is one of the things that I do. So apart from highlighting... Ab isko band kar do. Band kar do. Lekin dhak ke rakho. Nahi, theek hai. Band kar do. Hum kar dein. Apart from talking about highlighting the role of women as custodians of recipes, of the fact that they have always been the one who have cooked, healed, and nourished, I also highlight the racism that exists in the West when it comes to food of India. They have very little understanding. I'm very happy to see Dr. Pant here because he has played a very big role in demystifying what Indian food is. We have not told our stories. We have not written about it. We haven't glorified it, and we have not actually, now when you see what's happening to Indian food, everyone is mixing it with other foods. And this fusion, what is happening is that confusion is what is Indian food. And I serve my food garnished like with dhania patta or mirch or something the way we do in home. I will not put a whole edible garden on top of my food, dissect it, make the chicken and the gravy separately, so that my food looks French. What is the inner lack of confidence of Indian chefs that they will not produce food that looks brown? My skin is brown, my food is brown, I'm very proud. I'm proud of the food, I'm proud of the ancestors, I'm proud of the women in their graves, that they left a legacy that I can cook. So for us, we are not just a restaurant, we're not just a business, we are a revolution. We are a political force in England, and so this is, when Vogue was naming 25 of the most powerful women who are making a difference, I was on it. I recently met King Charles, and the first thing he said is, please make sure I get a seat on your table in your restaurant because it's very full. Of course, he's the king, bloody the whole restaurant will be empty for him. But he said that because it is a big thing, and I don't think this is about me. I am fighting a battle for Indian cuisine. Indian, as you can call it, because there's nothing called Indian cuisine. It's like saying, I'm going to cook American food or, or European food. India is multiple cuisines, but under the banner of India, I want people to understand, you must respect us, you must honor us, honor our women who cook, glorify the mothers who cook, because for too long, we take the food of our mother for granted. The day she's gone, it's only then you understand, unka haath ka khane ka maza kya tha. So this is what I just wanted to present. In the pretense of cooking something, which thank God, aapke bahut shukriya, thank you. Ye ban gaya hai, aloo. This is how it's supposed to look. You're supposed to just add some of this on top. But I think that I just want people to understand, you will be in positions of power. You'll be able to make decisions. There are people who will listen to this, who can decide whether I'll take a female chef or a male chef. Hire a female chef, protect her. Give opportunities to your daughters, to your wives. Give opportunities within families. Do not just wait for your son. Do not wait for the son is not the chosen one. Your daughter is equally important. Give her enough importance. I'm not going to, is anyone going to taste this? No.
Yes, I want them to, but we're just waiting for a dish to come. In fact, I can see an empty bowl
No,
there.
I have to taste this first because I don't want to end up poisoning everybody.
That is also a secret
too much
of a
namak.
chef. They have to taste before they let you eat something.
Yeah.
Are we okay?
Surprisingly.
Chef, do you approve, chef?
Yes.
The chef approves.
इसमें नमक थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा, it's fine.
Salt?
Yeah. नमक है थोड़ा सा. Salt. आप नमक लेके तो नहीं आए. I need a touch of नमक.
Also, chef,
There was थोड़ा सा और नमक की चाहिए? कोई बात नहीं. You'll know the नमक is come थोड़ा सा. I'm not bothered. नमक खत्म हो गया. हिसाब में लंदन का नमक था. Not India का नमक.
also, chef, there are a lot of aspiring young, there are a lot of young aspiring chefs. They want to know that, what drives you in, what is that motivational force that drives you in? And if you want to give any tips to the young aspiring chefs as well, that could be valuable for them.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is, first be immersed in your own cuisine. Before you start cooking the food of other people, understand where your food is coming from. Because you have something that you don't know. It's in your DNA. It's in your instincts. Like I tell everybody, that I will pass and I will know that the poppy seed has popped. Quickly now add. In the Panchphuran, I know what is the aroma. I hung around the kitchen. You are the best to cook. I'm making a plug for Indian food, okay? I'm sorry there are other people who don't want to eat Indian food. But I just still think that you should know your own food first. You should respect your own food. Then go cook the food of people from Mars. Who cares? But you must absolutely know your own food. And it's not that, I'm this traditional person who thinks that, ho gaya? Okay, take it. But I think that you should, and also for girls who are coming into culinary, do not get pushed into being pastry chefs. If you really want to be a pastry chef, it's fine. Go into the hot kitchen, because that's where women are not being represented. You will find us in five-star hotels everywhere, but they're in the thing. There are too few women coming in and doing work in the hot kitchen. So that I really would love to see change, that women come and take ownership. You must own the ground where you work. Don't go into the kitchen with your head down. You're a young person, you have a lot of fire. Learn from people and be respectful, you will learn. But do not allow people to push you around. I do a lot of work with bullying and racism in kitchens in England. I am unafraid because all the money is mine. I don't owe anything to anyone.
That's true.
And that's the thing that frees me from. So whenever there's an evidence of bullying, of sexual harassment, of female chefs, every female chef who has a Michelin star keeps quiet. I am the only chef who writes in newspapers. I'm a lawyer. Oh, that's the thing, I have a PhD in law. I'm a lawyer, so I know what I can write, what I cannot write. And I wait. If any of these male chefs wanted to sue me, I would clean the ground with them because I'd represent myself. And in court, you don't want to be next to me. Because when it is proved that you have sexually harassed a woman, that nobody who's a female speaks up. Because everybody's afraid. Hollywood went through this. The problem is you need a revolution. You need to shake every kitchen up so that this change happens in kitchens. This is unacceptable that a woman does not feel physically safe in a kitchen because of violence. It's not done.
Thank you so much for a very insightful and very lovely and very aromatic dish preparation. You guys probably can't smell it, but I'm standing right here and I might dive into it before I go off the stage. Thank you so much, Asma.
And thank you
Always
for
such a
this,
pleasure.
being so graceful and giving me
Can
the
we have a
opportunity.
huge round of applause for Chef Asma Khan, everyone?
Thank you.
And would request Mr. Manish Bhaiti to please
Thank you.
present a memento for her.
you.
That's Chef Asma Khan for you guys. Can we have a huge round of applause for Chef Asma Khan? Once again, everyone. Thank you so much, Chef. Thank you so much.
Thank you.